It was a dark day. I had Bumble Premium and Hinge Plus running at the same damn time, like a desperate little boy looking for love. Could you blame me? What did I tell myself to justify it? Well, that I wanted to go on a date. Simple. I already asked Claude to look at my profile, analyze my prompts, my photos, the whole shebang. I tried to figure out what was wrong. Nothing happened no matter what I did. Liking, swiping, crying. It didn't matter if I spent hours or swiped through the whole fucking stack. Nothing worked. So what did I do? Well, I paid for the most expensive subscription possible. It's what any normal person would do, right? Because that's what you do when you want to find love and you work from home. So a week slips by. Nothing happens again. If I'm lucky, maybe a like. But do you really want that one like? It's not looking good. Sending a message, liking people, it doesn't work. Maybe one match comes out of the whole week. Maybe. And I sure should tell you, I am not ugly. No, I'm not ugly. I'm tall, I'm bald, I'm handsome. There's a lot of valuable features. I'm basically ready for the apocalypse. I mean, look at me. Perfect match. But nobody seems to know that. It reminds me of applying for design jobs in this economy. You're keyword optimizing your resume, you're writing cover letters, you're optimizing your LinkedIn. Your portfolio has to be polished and to stand out above all of the other portfolios. You're messaging everyone that you apply to at that company, saying that you applied, hoping someone gives a shit. Well, it's fucking crickets. Hundreds of applications go out and nothing comes back. It's just like these apps. A week just flies by. You didn't even realize that subscription, it renewed. And you see that fat little lump sum come out of Apple Pay, and it's a little bit of shame, not gonna lie. It's a little bit of not giving a fuck, because you're just out here existing, and you start wondering what you're doing wrong. So you start over optimizing different openers. Maybe try being nicer. Maybe try being a little more sarcastic and picking on them. Who knows what works? It reminds me of those shitty mobile games. They throttle your XP. They gate your gear behind microtransactions. You gotta pay to play. You gotta pay to succeed. That's the system. And that system is the product. Can you guess how much money dating apps made last year? Well, they made $6 billion. To be honest, I'm surprised Tinder's even out there lately. There have been a lot of weird catfishes and people that want me to get on their Snapchat, and I'm not really sure what kind of services they're offering, but I think you catch my drift. Today's not the day, Satan. You're not getting me. They're seeing their first annual decline ever for these apps. Bumble is down 9.5%. Tinder is down 5%, although I wish they were going down further. But there's one unsung hero. Hinge is up 25%. The platform that fixed the confusion is the only one growing. Check that out. It's not a coincidence. That's the magical signal and the whole point of this. Did you know that most men on Tinder have a 2% match rate? The median man is just 2%. The average woman, 44%. That's an 8x gap. That's bigger than my thigh gap. 75% of all users are men competing for 25% of women. That's depressing. And maybe I'm a little salty, but the truth is the algorithm is stacked against you. And the apps know that. The people pulling those strings, they know that. They built the entire paid tier for the desperate side. And guess where most of their revenue comes from? They could share the signal. They could help users understand why they're failing. Hinge does some of this. They limit your likes, but at least you can see who's in there. Everyone else is hiding everything. Can you imagine if Duolingo ran their streak mechanic the way Tinder runs matches? You're doing everything right. You're practicing every night. and just dangle that little goal just out of the reach, you never get a win. You just don't. It would break the entire gamification of Duolingo. People would bounce, people would leave forever. They would chuck up the deuces, which is exactly what's happening to Tinder and Bumble right now. Monetized uncertainty. Those apps are not just charging for features, they're charging you to stop guessing why you're failing. The moment you see a like notification, you open it immediately and it's blocked. So what's the point? Why are you teasing me with this? Why are you dangling it in front of me again? You try to resist paying, you keep swiping, hope you find the match in the stack so it reveals itself, and guess what? That shit never happens. And you know who's orchestrating all of that? Because we already know the stats here. And if it does happen, it's probably not someone you actually want to have a match with. I'm not going to say anything too mean here, but there's some, yeah, they know who's good and who's bad on there, and they show you the psychological play here. It's a loop of doom, like a slot machine at Circus Circus in Vegas, where the carpet feels like everybody's vomited on it. I went there a couple years ago. It was a scary place. So your users don't know if they're winning either. They're poking around, wondering if they did something wrong, and then they leave without even telling you why. That is your drop-off rate. It's the first time someone gets into a SaaS product. They asked a million questions during onboarding, wondering when it's going to end, wondering when they'll get the thing that was promised. They're all there for one reason, right? Without clear direction, cognitive load just piles up. They slightly churn. You never really know. And if you're a solo founder, I doubt you have all of those metrics accessible to you. You just know you aren't making money. And the more you reduce the steps to these things, the better. Give people that psychological satisfaction. Give them small wins along the way, like swiping and matching or seeing who that like is. Let them see that they're making progress, because if they're not winning, they're leaving. And the platform that gives users more signal wins long term. Hinge proves that. 25% growth while everything else declines. The proof is in the chocolate protein pudding. All right. So I got a question for you. I always got questions. I ask a lot of them. You should ask my mom. She knows that I ask way too many questions in life. But can your user tell if they're making progress toward the outcome that they paid for? Not did they click around, the actual outcome. I've seen products with progress bars 0 to 100%, but there are no clear steps, no indication of how many actions to take. Everything is just hidden. And when someone gets inside your product for the first time, if there are 1,000 options and they don't know what to do next, you're not gonna have a problem, you have a problem. Founders, I've seen it all the time, even me, they get lost in features. Stakeholders want more features. It's just a thing. Your user came up here to solve one problem first. And if a dating app was designed to be deleted, it would look like Hinge. You can send a message before you match. You can stand out before you've been selected. Building a stake in the app that brings you back for a real reason. They don't hide the thing the user needs most. They limit it. When you block everything behind subscriptions and users start questioning themselves, their humanity. And I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm a dramatic guy, and you need to give them a taste of what they came there to do. Not the whole castle, but the main solution to the problem. That is your one job. Okay, here's the reward for staying. The platform that gives users the most signal is the one that's growing. Not just for dating apps, for anything. I hope you would have noticed that by now. But Hinge grew that 25% because people actually go on dates and then they're using it. Imagine that. Just imagine it. That is why I use it, and that is why they're growing. Because you get a tasty morsel of that chocolate cake. The answer is always simpler than it looks in your overthinking solopreneur founder brain. That is a mouthful. I've had to let that smack me in the face more times than I'd like to even admit. Your product can make the same bet, but give users signal, let them succeed, let them tell their founder friends, whoever their friends are. Giving users signal isn't leaving money on the table. It's actually the growth strategy here. All right, here's what we covered. Here's a little rundown. Dating apps make $6 billion, not by helping people find love, but by monetizing confusion. The median man on Tinder has a 2% match rate. The average woman has 44%. That gap may not have started intentional, but now it is. The pattern is called monetized uncertainty, charging users to stop guessing why they're failing. Your product may be running the same gimmick without even knowing it. And the fix is just this one question. Can your users tell if they're making progress towards the outcome that they paid for? If you want the full visual breakdown and the one thing you can apply to your product this week, that's in the newsletter. It's free. It's every Friday. The link will be in the description, in the show notes, for you to give a little clicky poo on. And if you haven't seen Duolingo's video yet, go check it out right there. I'll have the details included, as always, because sharing is caring. This is your bald behemoth of a man signing out. Adios.